All right, we ready? I don't even know what episode this is, but it's going to be a MACC special. We have Angela. This is your first time on the podcast, huh?
Second time.
Oh,
It's been a long. This is the second
Oh,
time. It's been a long
thanks
time.
for remembering,
When we first started.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome to that mustache, too.
Welcome.
Special
Thank you.
guest.
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Special guest
For the
lifting.
people,
Angela's
for people
mustache.
just listening, thank you for that.
All right,
They're
this
gonna go and watch
episode,
the video now.
They'll hear the inflection
Yeah.
in voice.
just extra, it's muffled because he has a mustache.
The scruff.
This episode is brought to you by our partner, Whoop. When it comes to training, it is so important to know what your body is ready to handle and when it needs to recover. Oftentimes, we push ourselves too hard, and that can result in overtraining or injury. You might know when you need to scale a workout, but might not know when your body needs to scale things back. That's where Whoop is such a valuable tool. And for all my listeners today, if you've been thinking about giving Whoop a shot, there's no better time for that to happen, especially if you're getting ready. Well, you won't be getting ready for the Open because this is a very old ad read.
You're getting ready for the Murph, though.
For my listeners, you can save 15% off of Whoop with the code MAYHEM. Go to Whoop, WHOOP.com, and use my code MAYHEM at checkout to save yourself 15% off today. You know what I hate that you
No.
just said?
What?
The Murph.
I know, dude. As soon as it left
we talked about this,
as soon as
too.
it left my mouth,
I hate when
I
people
hate that.
are like,
I was
I'm going to do
thinking
the Murph
semifinals.
challenge.
I was
thinking the semifinals, and then Murph popped
I get
in,
it, I
and
get
it was.
But that is a pet peeve, I believe, of both of ours.
But
we
set the record
discussed
straight
this.
right now. Facts brought to you. This could be brought to you by Whoop.
Yeah.
It is not the Murph.
No,
you guys
it's
aren't going to do
Murph.
It
the
is
Murph
Murph.
wad?
No,
The
I'm
Murph
going
one?
to do Murph.
You do Murph. You don't do the Murph.
The Murph challenge.
It's like freeways in California. It's the 404 or the 80.
Well, it's
but
like when
here,
you guys
it's
show-
just an interstate.
It's just 40.
Yeah,
it's just 40. It's not the 40.
Right, it's not the 40.
I'm going to take the 40 to Nashville. No, you're not.
I've
Yeah.
never
You're going
heard
to take
that, yeah.
40 to
If
Nashville.
anybody's with you and they're doing Murph and they say the Murph, kick them in the stomach.
Correct them. Yeah.
Please punch them. Kroger's as well drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that one.
Kroger's
no-
or
there's-
Walmart's.
There's you pluralize it.
Yes, yeah. I'm going
I
down
like
to
that.
Kroger's.
No S.
Hadn't heard that
on
one yet.
Kroger.
No, you're not going to go to Kroger's. You're going to go to Kroger. Yeah, we need to fix this ad too. So it says, if you're thinking about giving Whoop a shot, there's no better time to give it a shot.
Yeah, well,
It's a little redundant. Anyway,
never take enough shots.
we do love the Whoop. We have a barn crew group that we just
Dude,
constantly.
I keep getting shut down. Can I read you my Andrea Nistler and my text message yesterday?
Yep.
So she gave me a hard time because I had not been, I had basically zero strength. I was traveling, excuse. And she's like, hey, what happened, dude? Like, I thought, you were doing pretty good there for a while. And so yesterday my strain went through the roof. And we had done one of the team workouts from MACC, which today's show we're going to talk a lot about MACC.
Yep.
And she had completed it with you at the women's weight
Yep.
and then chased me through it and done half with the men's weight and almost caught me doing
Yep.
it. But anyways, regardless of that, I still just squashed her in strain score, like embarrassed her, made her feel like a child. She's above me right now. But yesterday, it didn't even get. So anyways, I sent her a screenshot, and I'm like, hey, look who's back in the driver's seat. And I can't find the text right now, but she was basically like, that's just because the same workout that I did took you 5 times as long. It's like,
Got
ouch,
him.
Ouch.
Got him. Yeah, it's actually pretty detrimental to look at those Whoop scores every day because you're like, I did the same thing, and mine is like 3 points behind everybody else. It
Yeah.
drives me crazy.
Yeah, you're getting punished because it's easier for you.
No, it's definitely not easier. All right, next one's Inside Tracker. Inside Trackers helped optimize my training for a while, but most recently my blood tests revealed areas in my day-to-day life that can use improvement. My Inside Tracker results showed liver enzymes that can easily be fixed by eating more greens and berries and replacing some red meat with fish. That's what I like about Inside Tracker. It plainly tells you what's going on in your body and then gives you areas to improve it. Inside Tracker, if you go to InsideTracker.com and use the code Froning, so if you go to InsideTracker.com/Froning, you get 25% off.
Nice.
Plus, free inner age, so you can really geek out on that. Nobody really wants to know their
And
inner
I'll
age.
update this one too. There's now a custom Froning panel.
Oh, okay.
So all the input that you gave me the other week,
Yep.
it is now, if you want an affordable blood test that has everything that a CrossFitter would like, up to and including some things that weren't in there last time,
Yeah.
like above and beyond cortisol and testosterone. It even had like some estrogen levels and
Oh, nice.
things like that that'll basically give you a very balanced picture of where you're at. There's now the Froning panel is going to be an offering from Inside Tracker.
there you go. There
Yeah.
you have it. We just got our results back the other day. Did you get anything?
Dude, here's what's I'm really frustrated actually. So my testosterone made kind of a rebound. Like it's doing well, but it still says that
SHGB or SHBG or whatever.
I don't even know what's bringing it down.
Sex hormone binding globulin. Mine is super high.
Okay.
And so my testosterone numbers are pretty good, but it's the SHBG that brings down your free testosterone.
But what's your inner age say?
I haven't looked at it actually.
I'm 6 years. Like I'm worse.
Really?
It's like the one thing
they
that
only
was
take like
bad
4
last time was
things
just
into account for that, I think. And
Okay.
my sugar for some reason was high, and I was like on a 17-hour fast or 18-hour fast, so that was weird. We trained a bunch right before.
So
my liver enzymes have made the rebound. That was good.
Okay.
But I had a lot of my B12 was super low, and then my cortisol. I think it's just the amount of training we had been doing or have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going up a little bit.
Yeah, I got my D back in order, and my testosterone was looking better, even though it's still just sad. Sitting next to a man with a mustache who's like 10 years old makes me. It's probably half the testosterone this guy has, but yeah, my inner age was still embarrassing. But I did get the app. The Inside Tracker app is pretty dope.
Okay. Yeah.
Instead of going to the website all the time, you can actually get the right numbers. What to drag you in next time? Have you done a blood panel in a while? Yeah, super informative. And unofficially, the show is brought to us also by Plunge, dude. We've been talking about it a lot.
Been talking about it a lot. I've been using it a lot. You've been using it quite a bit.
Yeah, I love the Plunge.
Ben is a softie when it comes to the Plunge.
What'd you get in for like a minute?
In Ben's defense, it was 36 degrees at the time.
No, it was 30.
It was actually 42.
Yeah,
Outside? Outside it was 42 or the water was?
The water was 42.
What was it outside? It was probably like 50.
It was actually kind of cold that day.
Yeah.
And I took a cold shower to rinse off, even though no one else does that. But I did 60 seconds.
And he was talking about how, he's been talking
The
about Wim Hof and, blah, blah, blah. I do these cold showers.
And you did for like 40 seconds and then had to come back to redeem yourself and do 60 seconds.
Yeah, I did do that.
Do you do cold showers still?
No, I haven't done it in a long time.
So I still do the cold shower thing in the mornings. But this has been actually really good for my HRV and I've just noticed that it's
That's cool that there was a tangible, you saw it on your Whoop, right?
Look back at it.
You were in the green. You were like in the green on the Whoop for like a week.
Yeah.
So you were doing it.
I haven't been down in the red since we've had it, so that's pretty good.
All right. We got business to take care of. This will be a shorter show, I think. But I'm flanked by 2 men who will be competing. So first and foremost, before we even get into any the weeds of anything, last weekend the Predators were playing live, and I was in Nashville. There's a lot of people out. But for our sport this weekend, it's a big deal, man. It's the first time in-person CrossFit competition, at least on a official CrossFit Games season level, since I guess you can count the games, but even that there was no spectators. So we're talking about spectators, an audience, sponsors, no restrictions. How's it feel?
I think we were talking about this last night. This has been the longest time that I've not competed pretty much in my life in something. I guess we did play some flag football and have been, but not with real spectators or anything like that. So since my CrossFit career has begun, I think the greatest span I've ever gone from not being on the floor competing is like 4 months because invitationals and all that type of stuff. Yeah. So it's been since January of 2020. So almost going on 15 months, something like that. It's going on how many years for you?
Yeah, several.
Well, you went to Brazil.
Brazil is 2018, 2019.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be almost exactly 2 years, like last week, 2 years. So
nice.
2 full years.
And here's the deal. I don't want to be too cheesy, but we're spoiled here.
Oh yeah.
You have to have friends outside just this state, but also this country to understand how spoiled we actually are.
Yeah,
in Tennessee, yes, and then in Cookeville, even more so.
More so, yeah.
But I think that we might not even realize how excited people are for this to come.
In-person events.
Yeah.
I have been watching some hockey lately. Preds are doing pretty well, so it's been cool to see. We were watching the Preds game last night. They lost in overtime, but watching them play, and then you watch. It was 2 of the teams in Canada. I want to say it was the Canadians and Edmonton, or maybe I can't remember. But there's nobody in the stands, and you just feel the difference even through the TV.
Yeah.
It was crazy just looking at the difference. So
yeah,
it'll be cool to have people there, and we've been training in this barn for going on 16 months.
Yeah.
That there's no hype about anything that you're doing, and
totally.
you just kind of grind. So
yeah,
got to kind of figure out a way to calm those nerves the first couple events, really.
I was going to say, I don't want to set super high expectations, but I think people are going to be ready to give it to you.
Yeah, you got to kind of dial it back a little bit.
Yeah,
so, be fun.
And let's give a shout out to as one who has helped with the organization of events before, and as people who have tried to run events here at Mayhem and had the headache of COVID and the cancellations and the build up without any kind of payoff. I want to shout out to the MACC because
they've been great.
Yeah, Wilson Pack especially, they've been super generous with like granting us access and being very excited. I know they're excited to have you guys come there. I think it was a radical and smart move to Knoxville.
Knoxville, yeah, it's a lot. You know, the restrictions in this state are a lot less than I bet where they're at. Currently located, because they're in D.C., I think, right?
Yeah,
that's where the competition is traditionally at. So Knoxville's a cool city when it comes to events and stuff like that. I mean, you've got used to be one of the better SEC schools in the country, not anymore.
Now you have an SEC school
and
there.
SEC school. I guess basketball, they're still pretty solid, and a lot of other sports are still really good, but not football in the last probably 10 years, 12 years. So.
A long history. They'll be back.
Yeah.
They'll be back.
Hopefully not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a Tennessee fan.
All right, so shall we dig into like the actual event, the programming?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's we talked a little bit about it on Mayhem Monday the other day.
Yep.
I think overall, individual-wise, I think they knocked it out of the park. I think they did a great job.
Meaning, when you say individual, you mean each individual event?
Well, no, I'm talking from the individual side.
Okay, yeah.
I think they crushed it. They did a good job. There's a pretty wide base of tests. There's nothing super gimmicky, which I love. I hate when people try to get too cute or try to do something, new and flashy. It's like you put too much on the judges, I feel like, and it just it's supposed to be about the athletes, and I think they did a great job with that from the individual side. And I think they did a great job with that from the team. I like to geek out a little bit when it comes to programming, and I think I give them an A overall for all programming. When you look at the team side of stuff, and it gets trickier with teams, and it's I bet Luke had quite a bit to do with it because he has the team background. I like the fact that there's a ton of team workouts, like real team workouts, a little bit of different tests, nothing once again super gimmicky, hard work. The tests are great individually. You look at each workout, and I'm like, I love each workout individually. 30,000 foot, hypercritical. Movements are very redundant in that, if you clean and jerk in the first event, you do 3 clean and jerk workouts. Granted, one's with a worm, so it's a little bit different. And then if you snatch in the first event, then you snatch 3 times. Granted, one's with a dumbbell.
Lightweight, max effort.
They're different. They're different. Heck yeah, no, and this is being hypercritical.
Like
and we're trying to talk more here.
Yeah,
so
yeah, gun to your head, have to find problems with it.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And then 2 events use a bike, 2 events use a rower. You've got a thruster and you have a wall ball. So it's like I said, hypercritical. Hey, throw in a rope climb every once in a while or a handstand walk or that type of stuff.
You guys don't have rope climbs?
Nope.
Okay.
Other than that, though, like I said, hypercritical.
Sure.
Have to pick something apart. That's would be my only knock on the team side of stuff.
Sure.
So.
And hard to find. I love it. And just for clarity, like in our first text message exchange, I said, "Hey man, they released the workouts," and you're like, "It's aggressive," and I love it.
Yeah. No, I think all the workouts are like you look at them and you're kind of like, "Oh man, that's gonna hurt." Everyone that you look at, they're like, "Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah. That's gonna hurt."
What about? Well, I'd love to get your input. So overall, zoom out programming, and we can just talk individual if you want.
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
I like it. I agree with him. I think the individual stuff is really good. I haven't checked out the team enough, so I'm not sure, on their stuff. But I think, and I was talking with Sam earlier, I guess a couple of days ago, we were talking about that. I said, these look like regional events, what you would expect. This is a new form of regionals. You would hope that they're going to be similar. And he says, I think they're better. And after looking at it, I go, I do think they're better. I think they're a good test. And like you said, there's no gimmicks. There's true good tests. And I think, though he said there are some movement redundancies, and what you said, they're different. They may be testing a similar movement, but there's a big difference between dumbbell, like we do dumbbell snatch and a heavy snatch, and it is the same movement. But they made it. 1, they're far apart in the programming, and 2, they're different. They're different tests, and I think it's good to put them both in there. I think it's going to be the coolest part about this is to put these events up against the rest of the events.
Yes.
Because what I've said, when anyone's asked, they go, what do you think about people, programming their own events? I think it's going to be fine. I think at the end of the day, when you go to the CrossFit Games, you're going to get the fittest. I think it doesn't matter what the events are. If you place 7th at at your semifinal, and you maybe could have snuck in at 5th or 4th in another one, I mean, this is just me saying, you're probably not going to go win the games. I think
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think the
we've
guys
seen dumbbell-only regionals one year, and we've seen tons and tons of nuance. Long endings, short endings, the fittest people prevail.
They always come through, and they almost always go to the games, and they almost always win it. The people who deserve it.
I think finding the fittest, yes, but you've got some of those athletes that are trying to make a living out of this, and the kind of 4th through maybe 7th to qualify, programming makes a big deal.
It does make a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I am a little nervous with some of these semifinals.
Yeah.
Like one of the
see
other
what happens with the
some of the other
programming.
semifinals have released some of their events, and I do not like them at all. And so I'm very happy that we got this semifinal
based on the
from a
events for sure,
programming standpoint. I think they did, like I said, they knocked it out of the park. They did a great job with that.
And you're both right, because what he's talking about is 4 through 7.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
Like,
When I'm talking,
the fittest are going to get through no matter what.
Heck
Like
yeah.
the winners are the winners.
The thing about the games, and I think they've talked about this a lot in the last couple of years, is that they are trying to find the fittest, and they've obviously made it. They've made that obvious. And what he's saying, I agree with that. You know, I would consider myself one of those guys who, depending on the programming, maybe not this year, but next year, depending on the programming, I could sneak in.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand where I'm at. And some people don't understand. They go, well, I should be at the games if you get 7th. You should, but, you know, maybe fix those holes, and you will.
But
you know,
I'm also of the school of thought of, like, hey, if we want this thing to be a real thing, like we want the sport to be a real sport, you got to have people that are kind of mainstays.
Consistency.
And if you do have these kind of one-offs versus a guy that's there every single year that can, you know, I mean, or guy or girl, it's different, you know. And I feel like programming is a big deal when it comes to that.
As a fan too, like from a completely different standpoint, and some people will say the polar opposite of what I'm about to say, which is, I do also like the apples to apples of saying, comparing this athlete in this week to this athlete in this week, and what you could say is, well, there was more time to practice it, or
that's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
The way regionals used to be.
Still, you kind of got to see, leading into the CrossFit Games, you had a standardized benchmark by which you could be like, I expect this sort of a finish order, or here's what I think we're going to see, versus you go all the way back to 2010, and there was the sanctional events before the regional events, and every single one of those was different. And you're like, man, I got a deadlift specialist snuck into that regional.
You have no idea. You have no idea what you're going to get. I think, and I don't know, obviously, the specifics of this, and I think you may, about how broad or what they gave you, what CrossFit gave the events to program by.
They did in what year it was, 18 when we did Classic?
Well, we'll say
they checked them. They basically just said.
But did they? Honestly, though,
I think that they probably
get any type of pushback whatsoever.
You're a very good programmer, right? And you've been in a lot of competitions,
and
so I think you're welcome. And but I think that. I do think that if something, to your point, was gimmicky, outrageous, like, hey, we're going to do double Murph or whatever, it's like, no, pump the brakes.
They did that at the games. What is that, Atlanta or whatever?
I was, I'm actually, I'll be honest, I was surprised there's no Murph this weekend.
Honestly, everybody's like, get ready, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Logistically, it's a hard workout to run. Yeah. Even a hero workout.
And judge.
And
judge.
Yeah. Oh, push-ups are such a horrible.
Yeah.
You know, you got the people that they're like from their hips to their feet never move, and it's just their upper body moves. Like I've seen.
I used to be one of those people, and like some people would say something, I go, "What are you talking about? I am doing it right." Until you see a video of it, and you're like, "Okay, well, I guess I
can't even do it to cheat it, but it's cheating.
It is.
I see it in here, and I'm just like, I'm gonna let it go because it's just a push-up.
Oh, it's a cheater's favorite movement.
But it's just that upper body moves, and the hips stay the same. But I think push-ups are a horrible event. Movement, like and that's a good thing about this is a lot of the movements are just cut and dry. Like, I feel like when you look at them, hopefully there's no crazy standard that they're going to have for some of them. But like, everybody asks why we never do kettlebell swings. I think they're a good accessory tool, but they're a horrible judge. Like, there was that one year that what's his name? Out of the Southeast Regional that there was some big huge judge fiasco that the kettlebell and like it was a
fight in the parking lot.
Yeah, basically. Because kettlebell swings are
you got the lazy man swing.
You got the lazy swing, the bent arm,
kettlebell down. Yeah.
So, I think hopefully a lot of these.
Yeah, from a judging perspective, I think the events are good depending on their what they're going to do for standards.
Right.
But if they just go by what the game, all these movements we've seen in the games or regionals, so they should have a rough standard to go by.
Yeah.
And I think CrossFit does a good job at having good standards that are easy to meet. Easy to meet.
Sometimes over the years they figured that out.
Yeah. that are easy to duplicate.
And so we're not going to take the time to go through every single event on this. I'm sure other people will do that in different shows, but I would love it. Well, first of all, if you guys do want to go see those, they have a fantastic website, MidAtlanticCrossFitChallenge.com, and the Instagram is at MidAtlantic CrossFit Challenge. But I would love to hear maybe your favorite and then your most feared. Or, I mean, if you don't want to, if it's not a most feared, it's sort of like a which one jumps out is probably like the hinge point. And you do teams, and then we'll go to you for individuals.
I mean, obviously, running a mile on a true form is not going to be pleasant into any type of event, so that one does not look fun for me.
I'm going to read it out.
It's a 1 mile run, 75 wall balls with a 30 or a 20, 50 synchro toes to bar, and then I think there's this sled thing that's on wheels.
The tank.
Male,
the
female,
tank,
or no? This one's male,
female,
That's
female,
right.
or female, male, whatever it is. That one's going to hurt just because of I just don't like to run. There's actually, I have a couple that are they're just going to hurt. There's a 15 muscle up, 15 snatch, 30 cal row. It's just going to hurt because you have to go hard. It's 115. You got to do everything unbroken. Like, it's 115 barbell's the most painful barbell, I think, in all of CrossFit because it's like
heavy enough to kind of like compound on you.
Yeah, hurt a little bit. There's a bike erg, 30-inch burpee box jump over, dumbbell snatch. Burpee box jump over bike. That's really going to hurt.
You danced around with the machines and the sandbag one.
That one, the version we did yesterday with just sandbag was infinitely harder. We did it as a team with the worm. It was way easier.
Okay.
Way easier.
Okay.
Honestly, I think it was the mountain bike, the double hill climb here that got me. But the one I think is the most interesting, and I kind of like the idea, is two people, male, female start, and they do 3 rounds of 30 kipping handstand push-ups. Well, I hate kipping handstand push-ups, but whatever, just my neck. It kills my neck every time. 20 chest to bar, 10 clean and jerks, 205 for men, 145 for the ladies, and I'm pretty sure those are split. It doesn't really say if it's 10 each, but I'm pretty sure. So they have to do 3 rounds. We all come to the worm, and we do 50 worm thrusters.
Yeah.
And when we finish 50 worm thrusts. So Chase and Taylor will start, and then me and Andrea have to do so they did 3 rounds into 50, and we have to do 50 into 3 rounds. So it's different. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's awful. Though.
It's an interesting little twist. I've never really thought about that, but I was impressed.
Because you have 2 people coming to the worm who are fresh.
Yep.
You have 2 people who are crushed.
And then we're going to be
and then
crushed.
you have to go against the workout. Yeah.
So I liked it. I've never really thought of doing that. So I applause to them for the creativity on that. I give that one a gold star of creativity, of not like gimmicky. There's a little bit of
I think the teamwork
strategy to it.
The teamwork comes into it, because when you get to the worm, who's going to fall apart and say, "Hey, come on." You're like, "I'm dying." You're fresh. You have to be able to communicate and be okay with, all right, we're going to be able to go a little faster, but we're going to hold back because we have more work.
A little harder.
And they're destroyed, so we can't just kill them because we're ready to go.
And we tested it the other day, just 2 rounds, 30 thrusters in 2 rounds, and it is off. It's very uncomfortable, to say the least. So
I love it.
And
these girls, they also they don't like to hit the brake.
They don't like to hit the brake until they have to hit the brake, and then I'm like,
and then it's like,
I told you so.
It's too late.
But I'm buried, So it's good. It's gonna be fun. It'll be I think it's going to be fun to see Chase. I think we're going to have to pull the reins back a little bit on Chase at times, because he gets so fired up, and he's going to, he feels like he's got something to prove.
He's going to run that mile in 4 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, bro, you're going to go ahead and stand there for a little while, because I'm going to be trotting, But it'll be good. Hopefully, between him and the girls, they don't just bury me, trying to go too fast. I like to take my time and push at the end.
Enjoy the view.
They like to push at the gas at the beginning and then
see what happens.
I'm not about that life,
Yeah.
I'm afraid to hurt, But yeah, those are probably the ones that I look at the most.
Let's go to the individual.
I think for everybody, probably the one that we're looking at is the 27-minute time cap. It's a 900-meter run on the true form, 18 muscle up, 36 heavy wall ball, and then basically you cut that in half and do 2 rounds of it, so 450, 9, and 18, and then so you do 2 rounds of that, cut it into a third, and then so you have a third of it doing 300, 6 muscle ups, and 12 heavy wall balls. And we've tested it a couple of times. I know Luke and Sam did the whole thing, and they said it's terrible, but you kind of recover on the run. I think the big question for everybody is, a lot of people, including us, are used to the assault runner. We're not used to the true form, so that's
the one
question.
the one wild card there.
Yeah.
It's like, what's this gonna do?
How you're
What's
gonna
my
feel?
pace?
Yeah, because we've all been on true form. It's been a while, but we all know the response you get from your legs and how it tires you out. So, we test on the assault runner, and then I think for the people like myself who have tested on the assault runner is not getting caught up in those paces on the run, because you're probably not going to hit them with the true form, and then really just being in the moment and knowing, where am I at in my heat? I don't want to do it my practice time. Where am I at with these guys?
Also, what I've noticed, especially with true forms, depending on what heat you're in,
warms it up.
Warms the thing up.
Yeah.
Because if you're in an earlier heat,
it's a little tighter.
So
interesting.
That's what I don't.
Thanks, early heats.
The bad part about these runners, I feel like, is the warming up is a big factor in it,
Or are they new, or have they been to
new or
another
old?
event?
Like we have some new elite runners. I'm just speaking
They're
from the assault side. The monitors are the same, but the effect on the legs is different on a new monitor that's a little tighter versus an old monitor. Or old runner. So
okay, so I love that. And tell me this: been watching the sport for a long time, and I'm always way off in my calibrations. Do you think that there's an elite small number of female athletes who are actually going to finish that thing, or do you think this is realistic for?
I think so. Yeah. Based on.
You think that I'm way off? You think
no.
They're all
I think we'll have a few. I think it's going to be a tough workout. I don't know that we'll have a lot of guys finish it. I think it'll be kind of half and half for the guys, and I think there'll be a few girls that finish it. I would say so. And I mean,
you got the Haley Adams and the Tia Toomeys of the world that are going to be there.
Yeah, I think in that, and the girls' field is stacked.
Yeah.
And I've went through and looked at it, and it is stacked compared to the other ones. So,
but it is aggressive.
It is, and I think
I mean,
a lot of it comes
muscle ups, right?
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to the running. I think. I mean, for the guys, I think it comes down to how well can you recover on the run, how well can your legs recover for the heavy wall balls, and can you shake your arms out and still have a good pace in the run. I think the girls, their fitness level, Tia and Haley come to mind, obviously. Their fitness level is far and away able to do that volume, but in the time cap is really, for them, it comes down, I think, the muscle ups and then the shoulder fatigue from the heavy wall ball.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think it can be finished. And I think we will see some girls finish it. I think it'll be close. Yeah. Because I think it'll be close for the guys, too.
I think so, too. Okay, cool. So that's kind of like the beast.
That is the beast.
You mentioned earlier that, programming could favor you one way or the other. So, which one are you looking at and just licking your chops?
Probably the last one. 10 rounds, 1 Legos rope climb, 4 strict handstand push-ups, and 6 dumbbell snatch with 100. On paper, not a great workout for me. I love Legos rope climbs, but that's not, for the guys, is not a heavy part of the workout. 1 Legos rope climb, everyone can do it. You get to the rope, you do it, you move on with the workout. Personally, strict handstand push-ups have not been something I'm great at, but 4 in a row there shouldn't be too much separation there. And then I got on the dumbbell the other day, just practicing running through it, and the dumbbell feels good. So if I can move the dumbbell the way that I hope I can, and there's not any crazy far moving of it that's going to exhaust you, because moving the 100 is significant. Moving it from one place to the next place, and I'm sure we will have to do that. But depending on how far you're moving it, I think will affect the workout more.
I bet you'll have to move probably a square or two every.
Progress,
And I think it'll affect the workout more than people think, because 100 pounds is a lot of weight to move, to carry to the next place. You don't want to roll it. I mean, a dumbbell doesn't roll well. So I'm excited for that one. It's the last event, so it's going to be hard. Everyone's going to go fast.
That's your guys' final?
It's our final, yeah.
It's a great final, man.
I think
there'll be some broken hearts.
So we've had these written on the board since Friday, and I wrote them in our order. Haley wrote them in reverse order back this way.
Arabic.
So I was completely
confused on the individual
side.
Confusing.
She wrote them in Arabic, just right to left and top to bottom, or bottom to top.
Yeah, that's a great workout. I think like we said, there's going to be some broken hearts. There's going to be some people sneak in. I think it's one of those regional style events where you can sneak in or drop out if you're in that 5th spot, 6th, 7th. I think it can change a lot in that workout because it's so quick.
It is not a Rich Froning required squat snatch, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay. I wish it was. I wish it was. That would blow.
I wish it would be. It would be terrible. It would take a lot longer.
It would blow some people up.
What about the man? I look at that 5-minute cap 10 rounder with
That's
the light.
Aggressive.
It is aggressive.
I was talking about it. It was aggressive. I actually hate that workout.
And you go back to judging. For me, I'm during especially the female, they're gonna be moving that thing quick.
3 and 3 is I don't know. I just don't.
It's we were talking about this from a separation standpoint. I bet from testing it, I don't think you'll see anybody below 240. It's 230, 240, and then I think I think you may see, 240 may be the best, and I think the worst may be 320. You're going to have 40
probably
seconds
have to advance your barbell, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a weird, like, you start on this side and you end on that side. So then you're going to step
Jump
back over the bar,
move
it back, which
yeah.
it's just like, it's messy.
There's a lot of
You got to
moving.
rehearse that.
It's messy
There's a lot
to me,
of
which I
moving,
don't like. But
well, you got to keep your head on your shoulders too. I do like when you have to kind of keep your awareness.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's gonna be aggressive.
It's gonna be dirty.
Does it hit you in the same way? Does it hit you like, so if it's that time domain, does it hit you like a Fran kind of?
Yeah. Same idea. Kind of. Well, obviously the feel they're going for is grace with some burpees. That's what you're looking at. And in the times that I've tested it, it feels like grace, but it gives you that break where, grace, when you see grace, you're like, man, I got to go close to unbroken or unbroken with it. Here you have to do 3, and I think you have to go those 3 touch and go the entire time, if not very, very close to it. Because, I'm sure you've seen people do grace. They get to 25 or 26, and they have to do singles, and they still get a good time.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to have to hit that. If you're on the 9th or 10th round, you may have to do a single here or there, but you have to burpee fast still. So I think in that 3-minute time domain, you're going to see people blow up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy. I think it's
sort of the drunken stumble to the finish line.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be.
Cool. I'm excited for that one.
I am actually excited for that one, surprisingly.
I am not. I don't know.
I don't know why. I mean, I'm not excited about I'm just excited for the workout.
We actually had it programmed because it was a main site workout.
Yeah.
We had it programmed.
I thought, wasn't it with snatches?
Yeah, but we moved it to 6 and 6 because I hated it that much that it was 3 and 3.
Because it adds some challenge.
It's just in
6
my
is
head,
that challenge.
In my head, it's just no. And actually, it's probably a harder workout with the 3s because you have to do touch and go.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, in my head,
You got to be pretty precise.
3 is
like
3
I-
burpees. 3 burpees is dumb.
Yeah.
It just like
as soon as you let go of the barbell, you are on the barbell again.
Yeah.
As soon as you let go of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's a speed and a transition workout, which I hate those, but that's me personally. I hate those.
Just not your, and maybe not your bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I'm fired up, man. We're going to have fantastic media coverage, so if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, then you're dumb, and you should subscribe because every single day we'll have behind the scenes, we'll have wrap-ups.
You won't be there Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. I'll be there Friday.
Sunday?
Not Saturday.
Come
I'll be there
back.
Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, it's our day, Yeah. It's a day of rest for me and a day of work for you.
Right.
I will miss Saturday, but the YouTube channel will not stop.
Gotcha.
Scott and Ben will not be sleeping.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
Scott, Bennett, and Ben will not be sleeping.
Scott's gonna be the real trooper on this because he's got to go no sleep and then no sleep next weekend on our 24-hour mountain bike race.
Tell him about it. 24-hour.
24-hour race.
It's called 24 Hours in the Canyon.
24 Hours in the Canyon, Paladero Canyon, Amarillo, Texas. You can go to our team page and support. Right now we have a $125 raise. Thank you, Lisa Anderson, for $25.
Oh, she did 25 bucks?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So Mayhem's mustache rides.
We'll
We're
make
gonna
this
grow
a lot-
mustaches and ride bikes.
We'll make it a lot more public. It is technically a cancer benefit.
Yep,
We're
so
also going to do some
benefit
Mayhem
cancer.
mission stuff.
Well, I mean, it's even through Mayhem Mission is it's the Harrington Cancer and Health Foundation that we are benefiting. So
And
we're actually going to do it with 3
in
as well.
typical Rich Froning fashion. Our
We were gonna do it
fourth
fourth.
dropped out.
And then we tried to find a 4th, and nobody wants to hang with us.
So we're doing a 4-man team of 3.
4-man team with 3. You guys were cool enough that my uncle who passed away from cancer is going to be our honorary 4th. So we're going to wear his shirt every his 4th lap, I guess, every time. So
Love it.
it's going to be a party.
More on that. That's how Rich Froning kind of cools down from
I'm
the
actually
semifinals
more
weekend.
excited. I was joking. I said I'm more excited about this 24-hour race than I am about semifinals.
It is going to be cool.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be hard. I think it's going to be cool during the day, and then at night you're going to be like, this sucks. But then when you're done, it's one of those.
I used to enjoy this. Yeah, it's 8-mile laps.
8.5-mile loops.
Okay.
And so we got some.
In the Paladoro Canyon is pretty famous.
Second largest canyon in the U.S.
Yeah. Boom.
That's awesome.
So, but wait for that. We'll put up the link so you guys could donate. We'd love it. We'd love your assistance. But semifinals, baby, coming up.
Semifinals.
Let's
Ben,
go.
you didn't say a word. What do you got?
I got nothing, man. Just
You
listening to
excited?
Huh?
Excited?
I'm very
Nervous?
excited.
Seeing these workouts,
How would you have done?
you had a fantastic fitness year, if we're being honest.
Thanks,
right? And the future's bright because you're, 17 years old, basically.
Mentally.
Yeah. Mid 20s.
Yeah, might be true.
Your mid year. Your best years are still
24.
your best years are still ahead of you. So what do you think now? Like seeing this programming.
Yeah, I'm having FOMO. I really like all the workouts.
Yeah.
Like, there's not one.
Did you test any of them?
No, I haven't done any of them. The only one that I think I would not have liked is that thruster into overhead lunge workout.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looks nasty.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
agree.
look uncomfortable.
But I really like all the workouts, actually.
Yeah.
And what is the critical little? Is there anything that you could have like tweaked this year? I mean, you had a lot more job responsibility probably, but like if anything, like stopped you from getting from the level you achieved to the next level, what was it?
Well, if he asked
There's a
Rich,
lot.
he would say
A lot.
inconsistency and sleep and diet and training. But
Those are some major keys.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I work out about like an hour and a half a day.
Yeah, you
5
work
days
out
a
more
week.
than that, but you cram it all into one. Like, get up a little earlier.
So I'll usually do like if the sessions are shorter, I'll do both sessions in like an hour and a half. So I mean, I don't know. An hour and a half a day, I think I did pretty good.
Yeah.
you did
For
great.
my placement.
Yeah,
You
for
did
an hour and a
great.
half a day. Yeah.
For a guy with a baby, a lot more job responsibilities in
Yeah.
the previous year. Like I'd say that
I was
you
really
kicked ass.
surprised actually because my goal was like top 500 in the after the quarter, like in the quarterfinals part of it.
Yeah.
And then to get like 139th or something,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Just think, man.
Future's bright, man.
Yeah.
Future's
I'm
bright.
just gonna keep doing what I'm doing too, you know.
Keep training alongside me, man.
Yeah.
You're you can only get better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's true.
Keep ducking out at us at the barn, you know.
The
Me or him?
You guys just
Oh, okay.
work out at like bad times for me, you know.
We work out
Like-
all day.
like me-
all day.
all day. All day's a bad time.
Well, me and Scott
is hard
start.
timing.
Yeah.
Me and Scott start like when you guys are done, you know, like 5:30.
Yeah. Well,
So it's fine. And
Got a
maybe
day
you know
job,
this
you know?
year, like leading up into the
That's why
open
I quit my day
quarterfinals, we'll
job.
do what?
That's why I quit my day job.
Yeah, maybe I'll work out like an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening.
that'd be good. So
Yeah.
That'd probably be more beneficial for you.
Yeah, maybe. Then again, I think that, and I'm like, man, I could also sleep in a little bit, you know.
Sleep is very important.
I think
to
the sleep's
recovery.
more
What would
important than
what
like
would
an
Wim
extra
Hof
session.
say to that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, get your trash together and just get in the cold tub, man.
Wake up every morning, come straight to the cold tub.
Yep.
Go.
Start training.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
exciting things, friends. Good luck this weekend to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
May you have victory, and we will look forward to
Victory is out there.
victory's out there. It's just hiding. It's just disguised.
Adventure is out there.
All right, we will see you guys from Knoxville.
Peace.
Peace.